Get off the road!
All right. Hi, I'm Mike of Mike's Road Trip, and on this episode, I feature Traverse City, Michigan. Located along the shores of Lake Michigan's Grand Traverse Bay, Traverse City is an incredible road trip destination. For starters, the coastal roads are simply stunning. And while the city may be well known for its cherries, it's certainly not defined by the tart little red fruit. There are miles of beaches, biking and hiking trails, and the micro beer, wine, and food scene, well, they are second to none. So come along with me and let me show you around. Traverse City and its surrounding areas embody everything a road tripper could want. From curvy roads that induce a desire to see around the next bend, to self-serve roadside farm stands spilling over with fresh produce, to these photoshopped sunsets. During autumn, while I was there, the cobalt waters, with a backdrop of hardwood trees set ablaze by the changing season, was a sight to behold. My first day road tripping around Traverse City took me north along scenic Highway 22, up the coast of the Leelanau Peninsula. Along the way, I stopped by Tandem Ciders for a tasting. Apples, of course, come in all different types and flavors, and Tandem Ciders has done an excellent job of capturing the splendor and diversity of the apple in their ciders. With creative and reflective apple cider names such as Crabster, Green Man, and Smackintosh, Tandem Ciders is making it hard to resist this refreshing beverage. My next stop was to Kilcherman's Christmas Cove Farm, which, if you're an apple enthusiast, should definitely be on your bucket list, because this place has over 240 varieties of apples. Many are considered historical or antique, as they were grown centuries ago in Europe and colonial America. And this is obviously one of the places that Tandem Ciders gets their apples. I actually had a chance to speak with the matriarch of this fourth generation farm and learned that some of the apples are early harvest, which are softer, whereby the late harvest apples are much firmer and crisper. As I continued north, I found myself at the end of the road at the Grand Traverse Lighthouse, where the views of Lake Michigan are just magnificent. After spending a bit of time exploring the area, I headed back toward Traverse City, but along the way, I stopped by Grand Traverse Bike Tours in Sutton's Bay to rent a bike and explore the area a bit on two wheels. There are more than 100 miles of TART trails, which stands for Traverse Area Recreation and Transport. This network of trails can take you just about anywhere, and many run through scenic open spaces, away from the roads and the bustle of town. Well, I had to pivot from my original plans this morning to go hiking around Sleeping Bear Dunes because it was snowing. But that's okay, because there's a whole lot to do here in Traverse City, so I've spent the day at the village at Grand Traverse Commons, which has a fascinating history as a former asylum. One of the best ways to learn about this restorative project is by taking a historic tour. This former state hospital opened in the mid-1880s with a treatment philosophy: beauty is therapy. The facility closed about 100 years later, and the compound laid in ruin for many years until a redevelopment effort got underway in 2000. While not yet complete, the Grand Traverse Commons is a place for living, working, playing, all right in the heart of town. Many of these well-built buildings now breathe new life. This was once the laundry facility, which is now a boutique winery. And this was the old firehouse, which is now one of many restaurants on site. On the tour, we also saw some of the buildings that are still slated for restoration, while also going down into the bowels of the compound within a labyrinth of mysterious tunnels. The next day was glorious, just perfect for a scenic drive. $1 for a Honey Crisp. Guess that's not too bad. The next day I headed down Byway M37 to the end of the second peninsula in the Grand Traverse Bay, to the old Mission Lighthouse, for some light hiking and exploration. So behind me is an old general store that dates back to the mid-1800s, and it's been in the same family all that time. I believe about 9 generations. Let me show you around inside. This is like stepping back in time, when penny candy was actually a penny, and a milkshake was just 10 cents. And for 70 years, the price of a Coca-Cola was just a nickel and came in these iconic bottles. My last day in Traverse City was spent downtown, checking out the beer and pub food scene. And I couldn't go back home without a few gifts for friends and family. And since Traverse City is so well known for its cherries, I had to check out Cherry Republic, which has hundreds of cherry-infused products. Now, a lot of you will ask where I stayed during this trip. Well, the first couple of days were at the Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, a lovely property with lots of on-site amenities. And the next couple of days was closer to downtown at Cambria Suites, also a great property. I also considered a bed and breakfast or boutique inn, but everything was booked during my visit. There are, however, many to choose from if that's your desired choice of lodging. Well, sadly, my time here in Traverse City is coming to an end. And I have to say, everything about this road trip has exceeded my expectations. From the dramatic fall foliage, the scenic roads, to the incredible beer, wine, and food scene. And I also discovered this destination to be quite affordable, from the food, fuel, parking, to even the lodging. So if you're looking for an incredible road trip destination, definitely consider Traverse City, Michigan. So until next time, we'll see you on the road. MikeTrailTrip.com